This is the video notes to go with our guided notes for point slope formula when we're given 2 points, okay? So we're building on what we've already learned in the last couple of lessons. This time we're going to be told 2 points on the line, not 1 point and the slope, okay? So since we're going to be told 2 points, we're going to have to make sure that we find our slope first. And then we move over here to the equation of the line, okay? Now, let us look at how this is going to work for our example 1. Our 2 points are going to be -2 and 3, 2 and 1, okay? So this is really the non-algebra way to do the problems we just did in the last lesson with the graphing, okay? Now, the first thing we're going to do is find our slope, okay? Because we got to know that over here, and we're not told that. So we're going to go to our slope formula, and again, it's a formula, so if you don't write it, I count points off, okay? So I'm going to copy it down. Now, we remember from our last unit that this is x sub 1, that's y sub 1, this is x sub 2, y sub 2, because those subscripts just tell me first point, second point, okay? So let's go ahead and do this. So I've got 1 minus 3 over, now subtract your x's, 2 minus -2. Okay, well, let's do some simplifying here. 1 minus 3 we know is -2. Now, let's just think about this. We know this in our head. Minus and negative is the same thing as adding the positive. So this really is 2 plus 2, which is going to be 4. Now, y'all, this is a fraction, so you need to simplify it. Anything's a fraction, no matter what context you're using it in math, you simplify. So we know that -2 over 4 simplifies to -1/2. Okay, now we know our slope. Now we can use our formula. Now, let me stop you here for a second. Listen carefully. The formula says y sub 1 and x sub 1, okay? But honestly, it does not matter whether you use the first one or the second point. Just pick one of the points and use it. Now, with that said, I'm going to pick the second one because it doesn't have any negatives. I just don't like dealing with negative signs, okay? So first thing I'm going to do is write my formula. Just like that. And I'm going to use this point. Okay, if you do your math right, it doesn't matter which one you use it because that's all still talking about the same line. So I'm going to say y minus 1 equal to -1/2 times x minus 2. And then we know the next thing is distributive property. So y minus 1 equals -1/2 x plus, because negative times a negative is a positive, 1/2 of 2 is 1. Then we know we're going to add this 1 to both sides. So I'm going to have y equal to -1/2 x plus 2. And that is my answer right there. Now, don't write this down, but I'm going to show you this. What if I had used the other point? What if I had used this one? All right, so let's just go back right here for a second. So if I had used this point right here, I would have had y minus 3 equal to -1/2 times x minus -2. Let's see, y minus 3 equals -1/2. And then that's x plus 2. So see, I had to do an extra step there to change that plus a negative, that minus a negative to plus the positive. So y minus 3 equals -1/2 x minus 1. If I add the 3 to both sides, I got -1. I get -1/2 x plus 2. What do you notice right there? They're exactly the same answer. But which one had less work? The point that had only positive numbers had a little bit less work, and working smarter, not harder. That's a great thing to do. Think about. Okay. Now, pause, copy this down, and then we'll go to example 2. Okay. Example 2. Okay. My points are 3, 4, and -3, -2. So first thing I'm going to do is find my slope. And I'm going to model this just a little bit different right here. This is the way I typically do it. Up here, I kind of work the slope out to the side, which is okay. Okay. But sometimes people can see it better if they do it like in 2 parts or 2 columns. So I'm just going to show you how to do this way. So subtracting your y's, -2 minus 4 over -3 minus 3. I'm talking fast because we know how to find slope. -2 minus 4 is -6. -3 minus 3 is -6. That -6 over -6 means my slope is 1. Okay? Now, that's like my first column will work. My second column is like part B, the equation right here. Now, again, I can pick whichever point I want to use, but I'm going to pick the 3, 4 because it's positive. Okay? So I'm using this point. Y minus 4 equal to 1 times x minus 3. Y minus 4 equals 1 times x is just x minus 3. When I add that 4, I get y equal to x plus 1. Circle it. I am done. Now, pause it. Go ahead and get this copied down, and we'll do number 3 together. Okay. All right, so big, I'm gonna have to flip my paper over. So I can get that real quick. Yes. Now, example 3. Is actually going to turn out to be a horizontal line. So I've got -2, -1, 1, and -1. Okay, so let's see how this is going to work. When I find my slope, y sub 2 minus y sub 1 over x sub 2 minus x sub 1. Okay, so my numerator is -1 minus 1. Oh, minus -1, isn't it? My denominator is 1 minus -2. Oh, there's a pile of negatives rolling around here. All right, so minus and negative on both numerator and denominator means we're adding. So -1 plus 1 is 0. 1 plus 2 is 3. But y'all, 0 divided by 3. You got nothing, you divide it 3 ways, you still got nothing, so it's 0. Okay? Well, oh, Hoybutz tells me I now know I've got a horizontal line because my slope is 0. And also, I know that when I finish this up, I'm not going to have an x variable. But let's see how this is going to go. So y minus y sub 1 equal to m parentheses x minus x sub 1. Now, I'm picking either point. I'm just going to grab that second one because it only has one negative. So y minus -1 equal to 0 times x minus 1. Now we know y minus -1 is y plus 1. We also know that 0 times anything, and that includes everything in the parentheses, is still just going to be 0. So now all I've got to do is subtract the 1 from both sides, so I have y equal to -1. And I am done circling my answer. Now make sure you get these notes put into your interactive notebook and then go to Canvas and find your assignment.